is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, fighting new flames. And Nebraska firefighters are battling new wildfires emerging in parts of the state. Plus, classifying cannabis, the big presidential move changing medical marijuana to a different category. How local advocates are responding. Plus, a big night for big dreams. How top football players in the country are anticipating their selection tonight in the NFL. We begin, though, with severe weather rocking all parts of our city and state tonight. Just take a look at that. Hail pounding down in the capital city this afternoon. You can see just a few of the many videos that many of our citizen journalists have been sharing in with us as it was all happening just not long ago. You can, of course, find these videos and so much more on our Now Local News app. Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Jake Coleman. Severe storms rumbling through eastern Nebraska today, and there's a tornado watch in effect right now. Let's get over to meteorologist Dominic Ferraro on this, Dom.
Hey, good evening, Jake. Yeah, we've been tracking the possibility for severe weather for much of the afternoon here. Still ongoing in parts of southeastern Nebraska, though I do think here in the capital city things are just about wrapped up here as these storms continue then to move off to the north and east along a cold front that's then moving off to the east. So here's a look still at a few warnings we have in southeast Nebraska for Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe County. I know just outside of our viewing area here until 5:15 p.m. This storm still warned for ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That stretches down also into portions of Gage County there, where they also saw plenty of stronger hail. We'll continue to take a look at a few storm reports on that coming up in a few minutes, but still do have that tornado watch in place until 7 p.m. Central Time here for southeastern and eastern Nebraska. We'll continue to monitor that threat for severe weather as we go forward. But taking a look here in the capital city on your Allo Communications camera, some sunshine poking out after here those storms. Temperatures still in the 70s and 80s for most of us. We'll have a look then at the timing of the rest of our weather here for the rest of the evening, as well as what you can expect over the next couple of days here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Dom. And we're getting more images of that hail like this one here shared with us by citizen journalist Jeff. You can see a quarter-size hail, literally. If you want to share your video with us, make sure to capture it safely, of course, and send it into our Now Local News app. Stick with us, and we'll show you more of that hail falling right here in the capital city. That's coming up here on the news at 5 and 6. Now to new wildfires developing now in central Nebraska. One big one is the Pressy fire in Custer County near Broken Bow. Authorities say the fire consumed more than 1,000 acres so far. Firefighters struggling right now to gain control. The fire chief there asking people to clear the way for numerous emergency vehicles and crews heading there to help fight those flames. Now, the brave men and women receiving community support today. Hot Meals USA providing them with hot meals both today and tomorrow at 5 p.m. And breaking now, historic shift in state licensed medical marijuana. The Trump administration today reclassifying it as a Category 3 drug. ABC's Jacqueline Lee explains.
Today, a historic shift in the way the federal government regulates cannabis. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche signed an order downgrading state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug with accepted medical uses. Posting on X, these actions will enable more targeted, rigorous research into marijuana's safety and efficacy, expanding patients' access to treatments and empowering doctors to make better-informed healthcare decisions. President Trump started the wheels in motion last December.
Today, I'm pleased to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this.
By shifting the classification of state-licensed medical marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug to Schedule 3, it will lead to tax breaks for medical marijuana operators and ease federal restrictions on the research into cannabis. The order drawing criticism from opponents of marijuana legalization. The chief executive of Smart Approaches to Marijuana writing, "There are many ways to increase our knowledge without giving a tax break to big weed and sending a confusing message about marijuana's harms to the American public." 24 states plus Washington, D.C. have already allowed the use of adult recreational marijuana, with at least 45 states allowing for the use of cannabis for medical purposes.
I want to emphasize that the order I am about to sign is not the legalization, or it doesn't legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form. and in no way sanctions its use as a recreational drug. It has nothing to do with it.
Many Republicans have opposed loosening marijuana restrictions, with more than 20 Republican senators signing a letter last year urging the president to keep the previous standards. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Hi everyone, I'm Danielle De Silva and I'm coming to you with some breaking news. Just today, the Trump administration announced that they will be reclassifying medicinal marijuana. They'll be changing it from a Schedule 1 drug to a Schedule 3 one. Now, what does this mean exactly? Well, the DEA describes a Schedule 1 drug as having a high potential for abuse. As for a Schedule 3, they say it has low potential for abuse and can be used for medical purposes. Now, this is huge in the state of Nebraska because the majority of voters elected for medicinal marijuana to be legalized here in the state, but although that was in November of 2024, supporters say that lawmakers are dragging their feet to make this a reality. Dispensaries still don't have the license needed to sell medicinal marijuana, and therefore patients are still waiting for it. Coming up tonight, I will review the details of this announcement and also hear from one of medicinal marijuana's biggest advocates. That'll be on tonight. I'm Danielle De Silva, reporting in Lincoln for Channel 8.
Right now, the Lincoln Police Department is jumping on the EV bandwagon. The mayor announcing this morning that LPD adding 2 brand new electric vehicles to their fleet. It's one major goal in the city's Action Climate Plan, which is focused on helping the U.S. adopt more climate-friendly energy practices. Now, authorities say those EV cruisers offer many perks, including lower fueling costs, cheaper maintenance, and one of the vehicles, though, has been in service for 3 months, and LPD says it's outperforming. Well, new at 4:30, a traffic stop in Lincoln County ends up with a drug bust and an arrest. Look at this photo here. It's cocaine that NSP says they seized from a driver near the small village Maxwell on Tuesday. The Nebraska State Patrol says they stopped the driver on I-80 for speeding. They say a search of his vehicle also revealed a small amount of marijuana in the car, leading to this arrest. Now to the war in Iran, President Trump is upping his rhetoric against Iran, vowing to use the military against any boat laying mines in the critical Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Christiane Cordero has latest from Washington.
As both the U.S. and Iran jockey for control of the Strait of Hormuz, today President Trump says he has ordered the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill any boat laying mines in the strait. It's unclear if Iran is currently laying more mines in the strait, but previously warned any vessel trying to pass through to coordinate with them to avoid potential mines. Right now, the U.S. Navy doesn't have any ships in the actual strait, though it has positioned vessels on either side of it, as the Trump administration tries to block ships from leaving or entering Iranian ports. The blockade has impacted economies far beyond the region. Gas prices here in the U.S. have surged since the war began, today averaging $4.03 per gallon for regular in the U.S., according to Gas Buddy. Analysts don't see that number coming down until after the strait returns to normal.
There is perhaps a path through the Strait of Hormuz, kind of north through the Iranian waters there, that is potentially safe. But even then, it's going to take at least several months here. We're looking at potentially August if everything was fixed today.
And this video released by the Pentagon shows U.S. military operations against Iranian-linked vessels escalating elsewhere. For the second time this week, troops boarded and seized a ship in the Indian Ocean that the Pentagon says was doing business with Iran. Iran calls the seizures an act of piracy and vows retaliation with no signs of negotiations ahead.
The Iranian regime believes that time is on its side and that it's winning. It's content to drive a hard bargain to build its leverage. And on the U.S. side, the president believes that he has the luxury of also waiting out the Iranian regime as a part of Operation Economic Fury.
And today, U.S. Central Command announced a third aircraft carrier has arrived in the Middle East, surging troops in that region by an additional 5,000 sailors. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And coming up right after the break, devastating wildfires in Georgia, how crews there are battling massive flames and why nearby areas also facing serious threat. Plus, a major threat in a local Nebraska school stemming from a TikTok video. Coming up here at 5 o'clock, we'll speak with authorities and we hear what they're saying about the frightening incident. havoc in parts of Georgia. Firefighters in that part of the country battling fires across the southeast today as fire danger extends across the country. ABC's Amarno Garcia has more.
Today, firefighters battling flames across the southeast, dozens of new fires popping up as thousands are forced to evacuate.
My house is gone.
More than 50 homes lost, thousands of acres ravaged, and authorities are now warning low humidity will increase the fire danger.
Usually the magic number to really have crazy fire activity is below 30% humidity. We're going to be down to like 26, 27. So get a little hairy this afternoon.
In wooded regions of Georgia, hurricane debris from Hurricane Helene in 2024 fueling the flames.
We still have a lot of greenery around here that could still burn, so we're trying to be vigilant and keep an eye on it.
In hard-hit Brantley County, Craig Jacobs, a wildland firefighter himself, and his 6-year-old daughter working to put out hotspots near their home.
We'll put probably all 8 gallons of water on it, and it was still going to smoke because there's fire within the tree that we can't get to. Very heartbreaking to see our neighbors going through what they're going through, but we're out here doing what we can do, pulling together as a community.
The fire spreading across the Georgia state line into Florida near the Everglades, scorching over 6,500 acres. Dry conditions also fueling the fires. A report released today showing the entire southeast is suffering under at least moderate drought conditions, with nearly half the region experiencing extreme drought or higher.
And authorities across the country are urging people to stay ready. 10 states from Arizona to Texas and South Dakota and Minnesota are under fire weather alert. Armando Garcia, ABC News, New York.
Now let's get a check your full forecast this 4:30 as severe weather hits our area. Meteorologist Dominic Ferraro has that for us. Tom.
Yeah, Jake, we're still monitoring an active severe weather threat here, mainly to the south and east of the capital city. We do have a new tornado warning in place for Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe counties in southeast Nebraska. Radar indicated rotation for the moment. Also with this storm here, warned for baseball-sized hail. We can see very high reflectivity values here over Cook, Nebraska, now moving then off to the north and east. So if you're in Cook there and closing in here on Nebraska City, Julian, now's the time to find that safe area for shelter as this storm then moves off to the north and east here at 40 miles per hour. That puts it to Talmadge at 4:48 p.m., 4:52 for Julian, 4:57 then at Nebraska City, into Hamburg, Iowa, then at 5:01, and Sydney then at 5:06. So continuing to keep an eye here on that severe weather threat. We're likely wrapped up here in the capital city, but we did see a good chunk of hail here, mainly in northwest Lincoln. These are photos submitted here from Cary in northwest Lincoln, in the Ashley Heights neighborhood. Just a little bit smaller than golf ball size hail with a couple of these as well. Then right around quarter-sized hail with a couple of these in hand there too. But lots of hailstones out there. It almost looked like it was snowing at times in a couple of those areas. So we definitely saw a good chunk of severe weather, and this is why it's always so important then to have a severe weather plan in place. So when these events do strike, we know and we're prepared when we head forward. Here's a look at those storm reports across eastern Nebraska so far. Seeing a couple of storms here producing hail, then all the way into Iowa. Had a couple reports of a tornado too, right along the Nebraska-Iowa border as well. So it's been a pretty active day out there so far. 1.5 inches in Beatrice reported. That's about the size of a ping pong ball. And then golf ball sized hail there for Fairbury. And then also a closer look here in the capital city. 1.5 inches in far northeast or north central Lincoln, which is again ping pong ball sized hail. And Pleasantdale saw a golf ball sized hail report. And we're likely going to continue to see those reports come in throughout the rest of the day today. Most of these pushing off here into portions of far southeastern Nebraska and into Iowa as well. So again, if you are to the west of this line, likely just about wrapped up, but not a bad idea to continue to just keep an eye on things going forward. Stormcast does show these pushing off over the next couple of hours, and we should be in the clear then as we head through the rest of your evening with a few passing clouds that will ultimately clear out as we head early into Friday morning with plenty of sunshine out there then as we head towards the afternoon. Quick look at that severe weather threat going forward. As we mentioned, mainly off to our east here. That slight level 2 out of 5 risk still in place. Scattered severe storms possible. Another area to monitor will be in portions of Kansas, but for the moment, I think we're just about wrapped up here unless you're in far southeastern Nebraska, so we'll continue to keep you updated here. We'll have one last check of that forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Dom. At this hour, we're seeing new data on the price of raising kids here in the U.S.
For Channel 8 News, I'm Major Ward. The cost of raising a child just got higher. That's according to LendingTree, at least. They found the latest national average of raising a child over 18 years is now over $303,000. This is almost 2% higher than their last report. LendingTree broke down some of the bare bones costs in this report, starting off with rents, which has seen an almost 50% increase since 2025. Girls' clothes also seeing a 26% increase. Insurance premiums are higher, but less than 1%, according to LendingTree. In better news, they're saying the average cost of infant daycare has gone down more than 3%. They also rank the 10 most expensive states to raise a child to the age of 18. The Cornhusker State making that list. They put us at number 9. They say the average cost is almost $295,000 here.
And time now for a look at what's trending at KLKNTV.com. Here's Channel 8's Mark Fisher.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Mark Fisher, and we're back with another segment of what's trending on KLKNTV.com. First up, a grass fire was reported on Wednesday afternoon in a park in central Nebraska. The Pressy Fire, which is located at Pressy Park just north of Oconto on Highway 21, has burned more than 1,000 acres, according to Watch Duty. KRVN News said locals are evacuating their homes on West Pressy Road, and authorities are asking people to avoid that area because many vehicles parked near the park are blocking those fighting the fire or trying to evacuate. Also getting clicks, Nebraska native 39-year-old Casey Lichtig has run over 100 marathons in her life. It's something she and her mother do often together. On Monday, she ran in the 130th annual Boston Marathon. It's just her 4th time doing so, and the 2nd year in a row she has competed in the race. She stopped after 2013, the day of the Boston bombings. Lichtig says both she and her mother crossed the finish line just 7 minutes before the bombs went off. Last year, they finally mustered the courage to return, running in the 2025 marathon and overcoming the fear from that day 12 years ago. But on Monday, Casey laced up her shoes and had to be courageous yet again, this time for a different reason. Still mourning the loss of her grandmother, this year's race was a personal best for Casey, running the race in 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 50 seconds. You can read about these stories and much more on our website at klkntv.com, but for now, we'll be back right here tomorrow with more trending stories.
And coming up, a night of high hopes and prospects, how football fans all over the country and here, Husker Nation, are anticipating the kickoff NFL selections tonight. Plus, all new at 5, how the bravery of one neighbor led to a life-saving rescue from a house fire here at North Lincoln. Stick with us. Draft, a night coveted by football fans across the country in anticipation to see their teams land the stars of the future. For the latest on tonight's draft and what we can expect from it, let's check in with Cheerleading Sports Director Nate Johnson.
Hey, thank you, Jake. Yeah, a big night awaits for both the teams drafting players. The right guy in the right system can change a franchise. And for the players whose life and the people around their lives are changed tonight. And if you want to check out tonight's action, you can right here on KLKN TV. To watch night one of the NFL draft, it starts at 7 p.m. Now, while there are no Huskers projected to go in the first round, there are some Nebraska players hoping to hear their names called over the next couple of days, one of which, Emmett Johnson, is the highest ranked Husker on Mel Kiper's big board. Johnson is listed there as the 101st best player in the draft. And here's a look at Kiper's projected top 10 picks. I think there is little to no doubt that Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza will be going first overall, but you never know. The Kansas City Chiefs are currently projected to draft Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson with the 9th pick in the draft, an area they need to bolster into this coming season. We'll be following the draft on our Now Local news app, so be sure to tune in there for updates, and we'll have a lot more sports talk coming your way in the Sports Zone, and hear from former Husker Emmett Johnson ahead of this week's action. For now, though, Jake, will send things back over to you.
All right, thank you, Nate. And to a final check of our 4:30 forecast as we face that severe weather. Dominic, over to you, man.
Well, for most of us here in the capital city, should be done with that severe weather threat. To the south and east, though, that does continue as we head through the evening here. Still have that, we have a tornado warning in place here. It's supposed to talk about a tornado warning here for portions of Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe County. This goes here for just a little bit longer. We can see that classic hook here just to the east and to southeast there of Cook, Nebraska. So Julian, Nebraska City, now's the time to get to that safe space, safe shelter, and lowest interior area of that building there. Away from windows. Also baseball-sized hail with this too, as it gets then into Nebraska City shortly after 5 o'clock, then Sidney at 5:13, and the Tabor there at 5:18. So going to continue to keep an eye on that one, but just outside of our viewing area. So let's take a quick look at that Lincoln forecast. 70s here for your Friday. Plenty of sunshine. Chances for storms, though, do return as we head into the weekend.
All right, thanks for that, Don. Let's get one last look here at the roads in Lincoln. What you're seeing is a live look at 84th and Holdridge. Looks to be pretty active right now, but no major traffic backups. So, hey, hopefully you make it home in time just for dinner. And that will do it right here for your Channel 8 News at 4:30. Rod Fowler will be joining us up next here, along with our team of reporters and now citizen journalists coming up here at the top of the hour here. Stick with us.
At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we build each mattress specifically for you right here in our locally owned store. We can even make his side different than hers, backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
Toughness, strength, passion, results. When your team takes the field, this is what you expect. And if you've been injured, this is what you will get when you work with Friedman Law Offices. We don't battle it out on the field, we battle it out in the courtroom. Friedman Law suits up against the insurance company and fights hard for the compensation you deserve, helping injured people. It's what we do, it's all we do. Call Friedman Law, 402-476-1093.
What you do today changes what you need tonight. Maybe you're getting into something, or getting over something, growing, making a comeback, or making it up as you go. Changing days call for changing nights. That's why the new Comfort Mode mattress from Sleep Number adapts to your changing life. Softer or firmer for personalized comfort night after night. For a limited time, get free delivery when you add a base. Only at Sleep Number.
Imagine relaxing on a beautiful new deck in your own backyard. Heartland Red Construction builds award-winning composite and PVC decks designed for beauty and durability. National recognition and multiple customer satisfaction awards prove their quality. Call Heartland Red today for a free estimate.
My dad says our new Linux system saves energy.
Well, saving energy means saving money.
A lot of money?
Yep.
Time for a raise in my allowance.
Savings year after year.
a big raise.
Call today for perfect air you can feel in your home and savings you can feel in your wallet.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Brian Hester Heating and Air today.
It's the little things that make home feel like home. A warm meal on the table, a tidy space, and someone who truly listens with patience and care. It's Synergy Home Care of Lincoln. We bring comfort, connection, and peace of mind to families across our community right at your doorstep. Because when your loved ones feel cared for, you can breathe easier too. Synergy Home Care of Lincoln. For life's little moments, as well as the big ones.
For generations, Eustace Body Shop has been a part of Nebraska's story. A locally owned small-town business built on trust, craftsmanship, and community. From those early days in the shop to today with 8 Nebraska locations, including 3 right here in Lincoln, Eustace continues to grow generation after generation. Because around here, taking care of people is just who we are, including free loaner cars when you need one.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Tonight we begin with a severe weather alert. As you just saw and heard there, hail hitting parts of the capital city. Citizen journalist Brylan sending us this video and pictures from Northwest 48th Street around 2:30 this afternoon. Several reports of anywhere from pea-size to marble to golf ball size hail in parts of Lincoln and surrounding areas. Another one of our citizen journalists sending us a close-up view of some of the conditions he was encountering out there. Sean here showing us some nickel-size hail right near the Lincoln Airport this afternoon. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rod Fowler. Kind of a busy afternoon, wasn't it? The storm that went through the Lincoln area no doubt was fast moving, but it left its mark with some heavy rain in some spots and, of course, the hail. Here's a live look around the capital city and eastern Nebraska. The sun back out again. Still some clouds in some areas. The question is, any dangerous weather going on now? Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins for the answer. Rusty.
Quite a bit, actually, and it's in the very southeastern corner of the state, and it is moving away from the capital city. So Lincoln, Lancaster County, pretty much in the clear. Beatrice also in the clear. We had our own troubles earlier. Now this is all moving off to the east. Look at all of that lightning, and you can see embedded in there, just north of Auburn, a tornado warning. So we'll zoom in on that really quick. It's from Nemaha and Otoe County until 5:30 this evening. This thing's moving northeast towards Nebraska City. So that's headed north and east around 30 or 40 miles per hour. Then a cluster here of severe thunderstorm warnings. Southeastern Gage County, that goes until 5:15. And I'm going to clear this out and just show you a couple other ones here. This severe thunderstorm warnings for Gage, Johnson, Nemaha, Pawnee until 5:45. And then there's also this severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson, Nemaha, and Otoe until 5:15. So lots going on, but everything is basically moving east and southeast of the capital city and Beatrice and really Highway 77. But a tornado watch is in place until 7 o'clock this evening. So we'll keep a close eye on these storms. But outside right now in Beatrice, we did see some really heavy rain earlier and some hail on our Shones roofing cam at 6th and Perkins. Now it looks like just partly cloudy skies and 72 degrees with lightning close enough that it's triggered the sensor. There's a wider look at all of the storms. Notice all of that is moving east of the capital city and Omaha and Beatrice, and on the other side a pretty quiet weather pattern setting up. So we'll talk more about that, what you can expect for the next few days and the weekend in a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, Rusty. And a lot of people checking their cars tonight for pings and dents after this afternoon's noisy storm. As we said, heavy amounts of hail pounding parts of Lincoln and surrounding areas. Here's a closer look.
We are getting some hail. East side of Lincoln.
Torrents of rain and hail rocking the capital city Thursday afternoon. Citizen journalist Denise walking outside to find this. Piles upon piles of hailstones scattered on her property. Citizen journalist Lisa showing the hail clacking onto her back deck. The Channel 8 station's back lot also getting a beating today. And further up in North Lincoln, the Havelock District getting pounded. Sean getting massive mounds of hailstones all across his front lawn. Yeah, kind of looked like it snowed there, didn't it? And when storms strike, we want to see the damage in your backyard when it is safe for you to do so. Scan the QR code on your screen to download the Now Local News app to share video and get paid to do it. Now to several stories breaking. Some new legal action has been taken over the work ethic camp in McCook. The nonprofit Nebraska Appleseed filing an appeal to a judge's order. That court decision said state officials had the right to take over the work camp and turn it into an ICE detention facility. The original suit claimed the governor exceeded his authority when doing so. We'll be keeping an eye on this story and let you know what happens next. And breaking now, the Seward County Sheriff's Office addressing a series of threats toward a school district. They say they've been made aware of several concerning TikToks centering around Centennial Public Schools. Right now, this is an open investigation. Channel 8's Jake Holman is joining us now in the newsroom. Jake, is this threat active?
Hey, good evening, Rod. The good news is no, the threat is not active, or at least ongoing. That is according to the captain I spoke with today here at the Seward County Sheriff's Office. But he says its incident didn't just begin today. In fact, we'll have to rewind a couple of nights ago when this all first started. Now, according to authorities, they say on Tuesday night they received several dozen calls and messages from concerned parents and staff members at Centennial Public Schools. Their concern? TikTok posts, which the captain at the Seward County Sheriff's Office says there's up to 10. Now, it's not clear what kind of threat it is, but they have sent both subpoenas to TikTok and Google. And according to the captain, those TikToks have now been deleted.
I do know that the TikToks have been deleted. I don't know who deleted those, whether it was the actual author or if it was TikTok. But they have been deleted. My job throughout this is to make sure I have people at the school and make sure the school's protected.
Now, the captain also says when they got word of these threats, the schools have now since been loaded with deputies this week for extra precaution and protection, of course, stating his main priority is keeping the students and the community safe. Now, it's also not clear at this time who posted these TikToks and, again, what the actual threat is. This is an ongoing investigation. For now, reporting live here in the newsroom, Jake Coleman, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Jake. Also breaking now, 10 people are hurt after a shooting inside a mall in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Gunfire broke out in the food court during a fight between two groups. Officials say this does not appear to be a random attack. The suspect tonight still on the loose. All victims were taken to the hospital and the mall was evacuated. The mayor there says fear like this is something communities face way too often.
I think people at the end of the day have the right to be concerned, about it. And sometimes the devil lives everywhere. And this is one of those situations, no matter how much law enforcement you got or social programs or whatever, if someone gets in their mind that they're going to do something like this, they're going to do it. And then sometimes all we can do is respond.
Police again still searching for the shooter tonight, asking anyone with information to come forward. We'll keep you updated with any new developments. Breaking now, the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is now being extended by 3 weeks. President Trump announcing late this afternoon leaders from both countries agreed to it today after they had a meeting at the White House. Trump says the U.S. will work with Lebanon to help protect itself from Hezbollah, which is an Iran-backed militia group. On to some new details now on an overnight fire that happened in North Lincoln. One of our citizen journalists, Todd, showing this video of the aftermath. The entire front of the home, as you can see, they're scorched from the flames. This home is on North 68th and Colby Streets. Investigators are telling us just about an hour ago, a cigarette was thrown out on some mulch. That's what started the fire on the porch, and then it went up the siding of the house. Damage is estimated to be around $100,000. No one was hurt. Some new details on the suspect accused of a deadly shooting in Beatrice. Justice Barnhouse appearing in court for the first time today and being formally charged with second-degree murder along with other charges. According to the affidavit, the shooting happened in an alley near 8th and Jefferson in Beatrice. The judge today ordering no bond in the case. A preliminary hearing is now set for May 11th. Well, right now, big news announced concerning medical marijuana in the United States. Today, the president reclassifying it as a less dangerous drug. It's now considered Schedule 3 instead of a Schedule 1. So what does this mean? Channel 8's Danielle Da Silva has been following the story and joins us now to explain. Danielle?
Rod, the reputation of medical marijuana receiving an upgrade. Before today, as a Schedule I drug like heroin is, it was considered highly addictive and with no medical value at all. Now, as a Schedule III drug like Tylenol with codeine, it's ready to be researched for patient use. A major turning point for medical marijuana across the country. For decades, advocates have fought for the right to legally use it to help with pain, nausea, epilepsy, and support mental health. Leading the charge in Nebraska is Krista Eggers. But her reaction to the reclassification news might just surprise you.
Today was a step. Today was vindication. But today is nothing to celebrate as a Nebraskan.
With 71% of the state's voters in support of medical cannabis, legislation passed to give access to patients in need. However, 18 months later, Eggers says dispensaries still lack licenses to sell it, and those who want it are waiting.
The reality is we have seen elected officials in this state do everything that they can to stall, delay, and stand in the way of this progress and the day that Nebraskans have real access to this medicine. Today's rescheduling doesn't suddenly allow Nebraska to act. It doesn't change anything.
The president first announced his plan to reclassify it in January, which would allow research to be done so it could be used as medicine. And today, the acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, signed an order to allow that to happen.
People suffering from big problems, which this seems to be the best answer. They're very happy about it. So the rescheduling is starting, and that's a big thing.
Despite many viewing this move as progressive, Eggers says it's tragic to think of the people whose voices she says were not listened to for years.
I have shared our stories. We have never stopped. Patients for over a decade have been saying this and pleading, throughout their suffering and the waiting. There are patients in this state who have died. They have died in the waiting. They continue to suffer.
She says what she hopes happens next is an expedition of medical programs in Nebraska. Currently, the Nebraska Cannabis Committee has begun accepting applications for medical cannabis from dispensaries, but there is no clear timeline as to when patients will have access to it. Reporting from the studio, Danielle De Silva, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Danielle. We're working on plenty of stories coming up all new at 6 o'clock, including petroleum perils, why it could be harder for parents to buy clothing for young children, and how one local secondhand store is giving a helping hand. Stay with us. If you're now just joining us, we need to catch you up on some breaking news. The sheriff's office telling us they're aware of concerning TikTok videos made towards Centennial Public Schools. They are investigating the content of these videos, and for us, it's not clear exactly what they were, but officials say there is no ongoing threat. To be safe, though, a deputy will be on school grounds until the issue is taken care of. Also breaking now, 10 people are hurt after a shooting inside a mall in Baton Rouge. Police say gunfire broke out in the food court there during a fight between two groups. Officials say this does not appear to be a random attack. The suspect tonight is still on the run. Well, many people undergoing the aftermath of severe weather alert. Let's take a look at this screen right here. Citizen journalist Todd sending this photo in Northeast Lincoln to the Now Local News app. Kind of puts things in perspective, right? As you can see, the hailstones the same size as that quarter right there.
We got hail here right now.
Meanwhile, some people in Waverly encountering some of the same conditions. Tim here getting a small wave of hailstones. Of course, if you're encountering any severe weather, you can send in your videos to the Now Local News app and get paid while you do it. Just make sure you're in a safe area when you record.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
The good news is rainfall for some of us. The entire state needs rainfall, but many areas in eastern Nebraska saw some heavy rain still ongoing here in southeast Nebraska. Big cluster of severe weather here from Pawnee City towards Tecumseh, Auburn, and then north and east towards Omaha. This is all severe right now. You can see there's orange boxes all over the place. There's also a tornado warning right here just south of Nebraska City. In fact, we're going to zoom in and you can see the wind velocity kind of in this area right here, south and east, near Nebraska City, Hamburg, into parts of Iowa. It's just now moving towards Iowa. A little different view here. This looked a lot better about 5 minutes ago, and now it's kind of smoothing out a little bit. So a little good news there that maybe that is starting to weaken in intensity. Now, storm reports. Look at all of this. There was a couple of tornado reports here between Omaha and Sioux City. That was in Little Sioux. That was at 1:46 this afternoon. Lots of hail. That was the main issue for us today. Look at all this hail inundating the city of Lincoln, especially the north and northwestern parts. 1.5 inch size diameter hail in very far northern and northwestern Lincoln. Also, these are all 1 inch in diameter. And then a little further south, I saw anywhere from 1.5 inches in Harbine and Beatrice to 2 inches almost in Fairbury. So some big hail out there. In fact, this is from my Facebook friends. Brian, Jack, and Jeff sent these in, and those all, look at that one on the right from Jeff. That's bigger than a quarter. That's about 1.5 inches, maybe even golf ball size hail. These are all mostly from West Lincoln. This one is from Karis, Molly, and Ryan, all about a quarter to maybe a little bit bigger, maybe 1.5 inches. This one is probably my favorite because Ronald knows what he's doing here. Here's the quarter size ones, here's the penny size ones, and here's the dime size ones. That's awesome. That is exactly the kind of picture us meteorologists love to see because it just explains it perfectly. Tornado watch still in place until 7 p.m., but most of this is moving towards Iowa. It'll be a little bit southeast Nebraska, still under the gun, but here in Lincoln, that's a cool shot. Barry Lawcam looking at things changing. We've got the sky, we've got blue sky, we've got clouds, but the severe weather is kicking on off to the east. So partly cloudy, 80 at the airport, 79 here at the studio. Still a lot of warm air out there. The cold, rain-cooled air, 64 in Omaha, 50s off to the west. But around here, still very warm. Lower 70s, middle 70s, lower 80s. So it's still a little toasty in some spots. The wind shifting. Notice it's out of the south here. There's the frontal boundary. And then wind coming out of the north and northwest on the other side of this. Still some wind gusts out there, anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 miles per hour. So even though Lincoln's not windy right now because we're kind of in that quiet zone for now, the wind will eventually come back at us from the north and west. There's that line of storms. Like I said, it's all kicking off to the east, but southeast Nebraska, goodness sakes, that's a lot of lightning going on just south and east. So as we head through tonight, all of this moves, continues to move off to the east as we head through tonight. So now we look towards tomorrow. What does Friday look like? Well, quiet for most of the state, most of the day. A little light rain welcome light rain for parts of western Nebraska and north central Nebraska. Then as we head into Saturday, we start to see a little bit of activity coming our way. Some light rain showers as we head through Saturday afternoon. I know there's a concert at Memorial Stadium Saturday night. I will be there. If you see me, say hi. Scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but this is optimistic. We may see that go away by the time the show kicks in. Tonight, temperatures around 40 to 45. Highs tomorrow, cooler, upper 60s and lower 70s. Not a bad day. I think Friday might be a top 10 day. Then storms possible Saturday. I think the better chance will be on Sunday, again on Monday, and those temperatures hanging on to the 60s all the way through the first part of May.
All right, thank you, Rusty. Happening tonight, what do you say we talk some sports? NFL draft kicks off, and coveted by football fans across the country in anticipation to see their teams land the stars of the future. For the latest on the draft and what we can expect from it, let's check in with Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson, who joins us now in the studio. Nate?
Hey, thank you, Rod. Yeah, a big night awaits for both teams. Drafting players, the right guy in the right system can change the franchise, and for the players whose life and the people around their lives changed tonight. And if you want to check out tonight's action, you can tune in right here on KLKN TV to watch night one of the NFL draft starting at 7 p.m. Now, while there are no Huskers projected to go in the first round, there are some Nebraska players hoping to hear their name called over the next couple of days. Emmett Johnson is the highest ranked Husker on Mel Kiper's big board. Johnson listed there as the 101st best player in the draft. Now, here's a look at Kiper's projected top 10 picks. I think there is little doubt that Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza will be going first overall, but you never know. The Kansas City Chiefs are currently projected to draft Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson with the 9th pick, an area they need to bolster going into this coming season. We'll be following the draft on our Now Local News app, so be sure to tune in for updates. We'll have a lot more sports talk, though, coming your way in the Sports Zone, and hear from former Husker Emmett Johnson ahead of this week's action. For now, the Rod will send things back over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Nate, and plenty of stories coming up all new at 6, including a popular type of food possibly going off the table for some families. What changes could be coming to families who receive SNAP benefits in Nebraska, and why groups behind the push are pressing for its passage. Stay with us. Now, students giving an outlook on possible designs for downtown Lincoln. Check out these sketches, pretty far from the downtown district we're used to. All of the designs here coming from the Lincoln Matrix 99 project, which UNL says has been selected for an Arch Daily Student Project Award. The project reimagines downtown as a vertical neighborhood. This would use existing parking garages to make livable housing. You never know. The future. Cool. Speaking of the future, how are things looking down in southeast Nebraska with the storms?
I mean, look at this. It's just amazing how much lightning is going on right now. Look at all of that. Moving away from Lincoln, Beatrice, and Omaha, headed towards northwestern Missouri and Iowa. But there is still that one tornado warning just south and east of Nebraska City. That strong storm there for Johnson, Nemaha, and Pawnee County is moving away from us as well. That goes through 545. Some big hail and some rotation. See that line of storms right there? That should be out of our hair over the next few hours, and will leave us by 11 p.m. tonight with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the 50s and 60s. So a little good news there. Temperatures tomorrow morning, 30s and 40s. Highs tomorrow, cooler, 60s and 70s. But that severe weather threat is moving away from us now. We'll keep an eye on it. If anything happens, we'll let you know. But everything seems to be moving east into Iowa and Missouri.
Great job keeping people updated throughout the afternoon. It was moving through our area, Rusty. Thank you for joining us. World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we build each mattress specifically for you right here in our locally owned store. We can even make his side different than hers, backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join. Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics.
As you examine the road ahead, are all your ducks in a row? Pre-planning with Butheris, Macer, and Love Funeral Home.
All at once, the whole state knows it's time. Every seat is filled. Every screen is on. Everyone's watching. Even when it's quiet, it's all you can hear. We built this together, a tradition that connects us. Families united across Nebraska, across generations. And Allo is proud to be part of it. What we've built is a legacy, and we're just getting started.
After months of planning, it's here, the record setter for 2026 at Kia of Lincoln. More than 200 new Kias to choose from, financing from 0% APR for up to 60 months, discounts up to $7,000, and much more. For example, choose from a few remaining 2025 Kia Sorentos, priced from just $319 a month. Now under new management, come see us at 1145 North 48th Street or online at kiaoflincoln.com. You'll love our new way of doing business.
Pronamel, clinical enamel strength, can help us to keep our enamel for a lifetime. It's backed by science. It is clinically proven to strengthen our teeth. I would recommend this toothpaste to everybody. It's really an amazing product.
This is Tom Osborne, and for me, Sunday mornings are a special time for family, faith, and community. Research shows that attending church regularly can lead to a longer, happier life with reduced depression and faster recovery from illness. By making Sunday mornings a priority, you'll experience a sense of hope, purpose, and belonging. Embrace the benefits of worship and keep your Sunday mornings open for this meaningful connection. Please join me and attend the church of your choice this Sunday morning.
Since 1959, Whitehead Oil Company has fueled the heartland, powering families, farms, and businesses with quality and care. From humble beginnings to a trusted name, our commitment has never changed. Service, reliability, and values that strengthen our communities. As America marks 250 years of independence, we're proud to do our part, keeping the heartland moving through our partnership with Phillips 66 and the customers we serve. Whitehead Oil Company and U-Stop convenience stores, fueling the heartland today, tomorrow, and for generations to come.
From big moments to local victories, we're here for all the action. Sports stories that go beyond the scoreboard. Every team, every matchup, every night, we're on your sideline. Channel 8, bringing you Nebraska now. Stay ahead of the storm with Rusty Dawkins at 4:30, 5, 6, and 10 p.m.
Tonight we have breaking news here. The deadly shooting at a mall. Authorities believe innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire. The urgent manhunt that followed and the images coming in now. This deadly mall shooting. Multiple people hit or injured. Pierre Thomas standing by with what we know so far. Also breaking tonight, the wildfire emergency. Nearly 90 homes destroyed, burned to the ground. Families racing to evacuate. The other threat tonight, severe storms, multiple states, possible tornadoes, damaging winds. Lee Goldberg standing by with the forecast. Tonight, the war in Iran and the shoot and kill order. President Trump ordering the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill any boat laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. And in the Oval Office late today, the president is asked how much longer should Americans expect this war to last and how long gas prices will be this high. Just in tonight, a U.S. Special Forces soldier under arrest. Authorities say that soldier involved in the U.S. operation to capture Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro is now accused of pocketing nearly $500,000 for betting on Maduro's capture, hours before President Trump announced he'd been captured. Tonight, the harrowing images, hikers going up a volcano, suddenly running for their lives, the major eruption. Tonight, the chilling plot of former police officer now arrested for allegedly planning a mass shooting in New Orleans. Authorities have seized a gun and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Tonight, an award-winning chef arrested and charged with murdering his wife. Her body found inside a hotel room. The close call for a truck driver and a school bus. The truck driver blaring her horn, a school bus appearing to run a red light, suddenly in her path as she tries to slam on the brakes. The terrifying moment a hiker comes face to face with a grizzly bear, the moment the bear starts to charge, and what that hiker does to save his life. On Cape Cod tonight, the lobster getting a second chance at life because of this split color. And live on ABC tonight, the NFL draft and why the presumed #1 pick is watching from home tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with the breaking news. There has been a deadly shooting at a busy shopping mall in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Gunfire erupting. Authorities just a short time ago say they believe bystanders were caught in the crossfire. Police racing to the scene. Shots erupting near the food court at the Mall of Louisiana. Tonight, at least one person killed, multiple people hit or injured. And just in tonight, there's news breaking on the manhunt. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, leading us off.
Tonight, Baton Rouge in shock after one person was killed and 5 others injured when gunfire erupted at the Mall of Louisiana.
Teams clearing first floor, north and south.
Police descending on the scene shortly before 1:30 this afternoon after a dispute at the mall turned into a gunfight.
2 groups of people got into an argument inside the food court and started shooting at each other. Unfortunately, there were some innocent people that were in the area that might have also caused some rounds.
The suspects then fleeing the mall, police deploying helicopters and drones and searching a nearby canal. The mall placed on lockdown, authorities scrambling to evacuate shoppers. Our affiliate WBRZ showing police escorting families with young children through the shopping center's parking lot. One mall worker describing chaos and indiscriminate gunplay.
I heard a loud pop and then another pop. I thought at first somebody was shooting fireworks in the food court. He was turning around, shooting randomly.
David, we're just getting word from the mayor of Baton Rouge that 5 people have been arrested in this mass shooting. But David, tonight this remains an active investigation.
All right, Pierre Thomas leading us off here. Pierre, thank you. Also developing right now, this wildfire emergency across the southeast, Florida and Georgia. Nearly 90 homes burned to the ground now. Firefighters battling from the ground and in the air tonight. Authorities say dozens of new fires breaking out in just the last 24 hours. Morgan Norwood from the fire zone tonight.
Tonight, new evacuation orders in Georgia and more homes lost as hundreds of firefighters battle multiple wildfires.
We currently have 87 living spaces that have been destroyed. If this fire doesn't shift, we could have more than that before dark tonight.
Authorities say in the past 24 hours, at least 34 new fires have broken out across the state. The 2 largest, the 5,000-acre Highway 82 fire outside Savannah in Brantley County, and the nearly 30,000-acre Pineland Road fire south of there, are both still out of control. Our Matt Rivers behind the fire lines.
The fire here in Brantley County exploded incredibly quickly. You can see there's still hot spots back there. This is what's left of a mobile home completely destroyed by this fire.